What up, y'all? It's your boy DJ Hollywood, back for another episode of Off the Record, where we talk to the people behind the records, but you know, it's basically like off the record, if you get it, all right? So, like I said, man, in the past other episodes, I wanted to tap in with the well-seasoned, people who've been doing this, man, and we could, catch some gems from them. So, without further ado, man, we got the one and only Chris Wright in the building, man. How you feeling?
That's good, man. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for coming, man. Chris hit me up like, yo, bro, listen, man, I see you doing a podcast. If you don't get me on there, I'm clipping your channel, man, and I'm reporting the channel. No, I'm joking. He didn't say all that. Nah. But yeah, man. So how did you get into DJing? Let's hop into the first question, man. And I know everybody probably wants to know that. How'd you get into DJing?
No doubt. So literally 1982. Well, first of all, let's talk about when I was younger. When I was in like middle school, junior high school, I used to go to the park. Mm-hmm. And back in Philly, that's where I'm from.
Okay.
You hear like
West Philadelphia,
Fresh Prince talking about back in the park and all that. Yeah, man. So when they used to have the Sirius tower speakers to the sky, DJs that had the biggest systems battling each other. They battled sound more than they battled like scratching and all that stuff. Who had the best sound was the winners. And me and the kids, man, we used to just go there envious, be like, I want to do that when I grow up, you know. But I grew up very poor in a poor neighborhood, and that took some street hustling to do. You know what I mean? But when I started to do it legit, I heard my first song was Run DMC Sucker MCs. Right? And I was like, I need to buy two of those. I had two turntables, literally, without a mixer.
Yeah.
And I had one turntable on one mixer with its own amp, and another turntable with its own amp.
Okay.
And I was just going back and forth. 2 years ago, a friend of mine.
Okay.
Right?
And just scratching
and
them?
it was going, no scratch. I just wanted to keep that beat going. Because that's what guys like Grandmaster Flash was doing, and Red Alert. And
like the get down.
Like
all that. Okay.
And I didn't know about equipment. I didn't have money to buy a mixer. So I just, Jimmy rigged two amps and two turntables.
Any way to get the sound out the records.
Yeah. You couldn't backspin or anything like that. You just had to like play it. But that was kind of my introductions. Like I knew that I wanted to be a DJ. And so I remember when I did get some money, you remember Radio Shack, right?
Yeah, of course. Rest in peace, Radio Shack.
Right, rest in peace, Radio Shack. Shout out to Radio Shack. Radio Shack was one of the places you could actually go and see a mixer in person.
Yeah.
Like, a mixer. And I bought a mixer. I had their Kmart version of Technique 1200s, but it was like realistic. That was the brand, Realistic.
Oh, it's literally called Realistic.
Yeah, that's the name of the name of the turntables are Realistic. And y'all old DJs out there, y'all know what I'm talking about. But I got two Realistic turntables. I actually got a mixer, and I just started to buy like a Realistic. Oh, so this is the thing. This is what you do. You would get a Radio Shack credit card. They would like give it to anybody.
Yeah.
Give you a $500 limit. And it was just enough to get you a nice set.
A nice setup, okay.
Right? Most people never paid the money back. It was like Columbia Record Club.
Yeah. No, I remember my mom probably even did the same thing.
Right. So then you joined Columbia Record Club and got a bunch of free albums for a penny.
Oh, right? A penny?
Yeah. So yeah, it was like, send in a penny or whatever like that, and you joined the record club. Then they tried to get you to get all these albums every month.
Yeah, of course.
For like $25 an album.
Mm-hmm. Right? Yeah, they could start you off with the penny and then they run that up.
Right. So anyway, so that's how I got started DJing, and I used to do like basement parties and stuff like that, and we're talking high school. Mm-hmm. And so that was my indoctrination.
So did you ever? I know Chris Wright is basically the DJ name now, but did you have a DJ like another alias back then?
I had a few of them, man, because I used to be a graffiti artist.
Let's hear a graffiti too. Okay,
man,
you B-boy too or not?
I was hip hop, man. Ooh. Hip hop is different phases. It's,
for sure.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. And if y'all out there and I say I'm wrong, but hip hop is breakdancing.
Yep.
Graffiti.
Yep.
MCing and DJing.
Yeah.
Right? I shouldn't at the table, right? But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's all four encompassed. So when people go, and of course the lingo. So it's like 5 elements of hip hop. And once you get all those 5, if you're a true hip hop person, all 5. And then the clothes came into the thing.
Yep.
And then sneakers became hip hop.
The Adidas,
right?
yeah.
Adidas. So at that time growing up, I was definitely the clothes, Lee jeans, Adidas sneakers. That's why I still wear Adidas to this day. Right?
Oh, is that the reason?
That's the reason.
Yeah.
I never switched to Air Jordan and all that.
Uh-huh.
You know, but I was total hip hop. So yeah, I never break dance, but I did pop lock. There you go.
Can I bring it back?
Yeah, you can bring it back. Right? But you know, and I rap. So at the time, my name was MC Romeo.
MC Romeo.
That was my high school name.
Okay.
Right?
Uh-huh.
And at one time, I was Prince G.
Why Prince G? Just cause?
Man, just cause. You know, whatever I my tags.
Was Prince G?
Yeah, it was Prince G. That was my tag. Sometimes I just did PG if I didn't have enough time.
You ever get caught tagging?
I never got caught tagging. I was into the fat markers too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, some guys. I was into the fat markers before I got into the paint. Because some guys were good with the paint.
Yeah.
And then some guys were good with the markers.
Markers.
And I was me and my boy. His name was Arnold. Nobody knows who he is. I think he lives in Florida now. But me and my man, we were the fat marker guys, and he was a really, really good artist. I think his name was Astro. I can't remember. Mm-hmm. But anyway, so I used to hit up with Romeo and Prince G. I used to switch it up so nobody knew it was me.
Okay.
But then, so I used to DJ, and then I got into rapping, but I did not like rapping as much as I did DJing.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be like that.
People are either MCs or they're DJs.
Right.
So I did rap though. We're not gonna rap today. I'm gonna just let you know.
I was about to say, you want me here a bar real quick now? I'm messing with you.
Yeah, but it would sound it's too old.
I'm messing with you.
Right.
So now, who did you practice yourself, like, or did anybody teach you, or like how did that develop over time with DJing?
It's just I was. You know, you get a hobby.
Yeah.
You get asphyxiated with it.
Uh-huh.
Like you just don't.
You locked yourself in the room.
Locked yourself in the room. That's all I did. This was back in the day where people like, yo, come over and you grab your crate, or you grab like 5 or 6 albums.
Yeah.
You know, kids had backpacks, always stuffed with albums. You saw Juice, right?
Yeah.
I heard TGIF. Shout out to TGIF.
Yeah.
Talk about Juice is what made him want to be a DJ.
Uh-huh.
It was that world. You know, it was like, yo, some people actually used to carry their turntable under their arm, right?
Yeah.
You know, that was the world. You know, but I just practice. Then I got into freestyle.
Like freestyle
like
DJing?
Stevie. Well, no, the freestyle artists, which was mostly Puerto Ricans. Stevie B. It was like that dance beat, Dreaming of Love, and all those people out there. Jelly Bean Benitez, and this was before EDM. This was before house, and there's a lot of freestyle people out there that love that genre of music. So I got into that because it was easier to mix. I got bored with hip hop, and I needed something else to mix. So clubs I started going to, the bars as going to underage, they let me in, and they would let me mix.
And play freestyle.
Because so many DJs were playing hip hop, and then when house music came out, same thing. House just kind of took over freestyle. They kind of merged and blended together. This was all before EDM, though.
Yeah.
You know when EDM really got popular?
When?
After what was the name of that song? It was crazy. I will have to go back to it because I don't want to waste time here. Oh, What Is Love?
What Is Love? Yeah, that's fire.
Right. That's when the EDM phase kind of came in, and then all types of DJs started, making music after that. So house and dance turned into EDM, and more people got into it. But that was kind of my world. That's how I got good at it, trying to mix it. Now, I've never been a big scratcher.
Yeah.
Because one, I'm not ambidextrous. I can't do jack with my left hand.
Ambidextrous is left and right hand.
Left and right hand. And I heard a DJ props on YouTube say it takes a lot of practice and muscle skills to get good
muscle memory. Yeah, a lot. Yeah.
He said so you have to continue to do it, and I see some DJs on YouTube having to use their right hand for everything.
Yeah,
crossing over,
switch,
as opposed to being able to use both.
Yeah, and initially when I started learning how to DJ on records, I actually knew that I was right-handed, so I would practice a lot more with my left. So that kind of helped me just going into it and being able to be versatile with, the right hand, left hand type thing. Yeah.
And it's equivalent to like a baller who can shoot with his right or left hand.
Exactly.
And coaches will tell ballers, especially shooting guards, lay up with your left. Use
your left. Coach will take you out if you don't use your left hand.
You gotta use your left.
Especially if you miss a layup on the left hand side with your coach will take you out. So speaking of now that's one of my other questions. So how important is it to be coachable? Whether it's learning how to DJ, whether it's basketball or just in general, in sports in general, how important is it to be coachable, even with like a mentor and stuff like that? How important is it?
It's extremely important. Michael Jordan had a coach. Mm-hmm. Michael Jordan had a mentor. Mm-hmm. Michael Jordan had a shrink. Like, I get in my own head. The thing is, like, if you recognize that you need a coach for whatever your facet is in life, if you have big brothers and big sisters, right?
Yeah.
An organization, right?
Yeah.
When you get a little brother, oh man, I look up to you. You're my idol, and you're coaching him on life, and he looks up to you. You got to say, you got to listen to me, because I want you to avoid some of the hurdles that I ran into.
That's the biggest thing too.
Yeah. Right. It's the same thing in all facets, whether you sell real estate, whether you're a DJ. How many times you just watch someone for hours DJing and be like, how do you do that, man? Mm-hmm. And then they tell you, but you don't do it. You got to do this over and over and over and over again. You be like, I don't do it. So I'm never going to get as good as that person.
Yeah, you got to put them hours in.
A good coach wants you to be better than them.
Exactly.
Right?
That's a great thing. So funny enough, some people would just be jokingly be like, yo, man, like, when I grow up, I want to be like you. And I'm like, nah, you want to be better than me. That's the thing. Because to what you said, because you can't be considered a good coach if you can't make the player or the other person, literally, like you said, better than you.
Better than you.
Yeah, that's
you haven't really succeeded as a coach until that person is better than you, and can. I'm sure all the years that Phil Jackson coached Kobe, he was proud of Kobe because he was like, he's a genius.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah,
Phil Jackson with Michael Jordan, he was like, that guy got the triangle. I don't need to tell him jack. You know what I mean? He's got it. He can teach everybody else the triangle. So that's the way it is. So I've had coaches and mentors all my life, or people, there's also mentors from afar, people who you can't touch, people who can't see. Like, let's say I wanted to be an actor, and I said, you know what, I love Idris Elba.
Yeah.
And I study his films. I want to be Denzel Washington. I just watch nothing but Denzel watching movies. I get all his mannerisms down. I get his and if I find, you know what? You know who's a Chadwick Boseman? Was a Denzel Washington.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Chad. Chadwick Boseman was a protege of Denzel Washington.
I could see that. Yeah. I never knew that, but I could 100% see that. That makes so much sense after you say that.
So, and I'm sure that Denzel is proud of Chadwick Boseman. And if Chadwick Boseman had lived to be an old man, he would always tell you that Denzel was my guy.
For sure.
Yeah.
So now my next question, man. So this is something that you wanted to, talk about. So event DJs versus the club DJs, man. Yeah. Explain the difference in, from your opinion and, your thoughts on it.
Right. I remember, one of your first interviews on Off the Record, I think somebody called him a hospitality DJ.
Hospitality DJ.
I laughed at that. I said, that's a funny name. It's a good name, though, because that's what it's all about. I think, event wedding DJs is hospitality. We blend right in with the hotel, with the vendors, with the catering, with the food, the photographers. We're hospitality.
Yep.
Everything we do is for that bride. A wedding is the Super Bowl.
It is, because that's a moment you'll never forget for the rest of your life.
And here's the thing: if I have a bad club day, I get to do it again next week.
Yeah, or literally the next day, Friday to Saturday.
Even the next day, I can't redo that lady's wedding.
That's a great point.
So every day's a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So there's kind of a schism sometimes between before the show started, we were talking about virtual DJ versus Serato.
Yep.
Nike versus Adidas.
Yep.
Android versus iPhone. There's also club DJ versus wedding DJ sometimes, and sometimes there's a level of respectability that's not matched between the two. There's wedding DJs that talk smack about club jocks.
Yep, and
There's
vice
club
versa.
jocks that talk crap about wedding DJs. There's differences. And I've seen sometimes where I would watch an interview with, whether on your show or another, where you say, so do you take requests? Club jocks, man, I ain't taking no damn requests.
Yeah, club DJ, they don't take no requests.
We're about pleasing.
Yes.
We're people pleasers in the event industry, whether it's a corporate event, whether it's a wedding. What do the customer want? We'll ask brides, would you like us to take requests? They'd be like, it's up to you.
Yep.
So they kind of leave it up to us. But there's rules about requests. Once you have been doing this business for a while, you come up with rules about the requests. We don't ask for tips and money, but like that, but people throw it over the facade.
Yeah.
But for the most part, yeah, I just like to point out the differences because I think we should have a respectability for each other. I can't do what a club jock do. If you were to say, if a club were to call me up on Friday night and be like, hey, my DJ's falling through, can you come in? One, I'm going to be scared.
Yeah.
Because I don't know that crowd. Two, I don't know what to play. I'm going to be like, I play weddings. You know what I mean?
Right.
But then at the same time, some club jocks don't know how to cross over into the wedding world.
Correct.
And they start
MC,
doing their club thing, and all the wedding guests are just like looking at them like,
yeah, bro, like we just trying to dance right now.
what are you doing? There's also, what some of my wedding DJ friends called bastardized remixes. Like, you got to be careful with remixes at weddings. A nice redrum is hot. A small little change or alteration. On Facebook, and you saw this post the other day, I put the top 8 wedding songs.
Top 8 wedding songs.
Right.
Yep.
The average person that looked at those wedding songs were like, right. So imagine us having to play them every weekend.
Every weekend.
Right?
For sure.
How do we entertain ourselves, though? We get tweaks. We,
Find a nice little remix.
But nothing that's going to affect the crowd. Wannabe by the Spice Girls. Maybe I got a nice little redrum of it.
Yep.
Maybe I got like a techno remix of it. But something that, they can still sing and dance to, and they can still recognize the song.
Right.
If you totally bastardize it with some like Skrillex, bah, 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 all that, they'll be like,
you're like, yo, bro, like,
what are you doing?
That's a quick way to clear out the dance floor.
You can't have a Tiesto remix or something, and they'd be like,
yeah, I think you can't remix everything. Like some stuff, some classics are better left untouched, but I can also appreciate a great remix when there's a great remix.
Oh, but here's the thing: if you want to keep the crowd moving, and you add a nice redrum or a nice, a two-step beat behind something like Sweet Caroline, wedding guests love that.
Yeah,
because they still jamming. And then you threw a nice little beat under their favorite song that normally wouldn't be danceable.
Yeah.
It would be a sing song.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or you add something to like a Queen song and they'd be like, ooh, that remix was fire, right? That's kind of where we have to go. But at the same time, I'll listen to a club DJ set and I'll be like, wow, I want to do that. I want to do that. But I got to stand in the booth for a couple of days so I can get that. Because it just doesn't come naturally, them knowing what to play. With the advent of the MP3, you don't have to play whole songs anymore.
At all.
There was days you'd be like, you can't just cut a CD or album. You could kind of scratch out of it, but it was more like play song. And then now
fade out. Yeah.
And then people were beat mixing, but it was really, 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 really hard to not play whole songs back in the day. And then they started making extended mixes.
Yeah, intros, all that stuff, outros.
Right, it was bad enough that 3 minutes and 40 seconds was long enough.
Yeah.
Now they made them 5 minutes, and no one's listening to a 5-minute song. I get bored.
Yeah.
As the DJ, I get bored. So I like to play 2 minutes of a song max. And I know I can beat mix out of that. And I think wedding DJs, that's one thing that we took from the club DJs is that we had to learn how to beat mix. Right, we had to learn how to beat mix.
So, on the same topic of event DJs and club DJs, or wedding DJs and club DJs, club DJs also have the moment where they have to MC as well.
Good point.
When, on the other hand, you have a helping hand, you have an assistant, whatever it is, you have an MC, and you can focus on DJing, which I could see from, back in the old school days where Jam Master or Jazzy Jeff and a Will Smith, where they were going hand in hand, where Jazzy Jeff had to worry about, I'm gonna just worry about playing music, you rock the crowd, bro. And You know, so just even with that, you know, that's something that's super, and you know, a club DJ wouldn't even look at it like that. They would brag like, you know, I could do it all by myself, you know.
So it wasn't until the early, let's say, mid to late 2000s when you started seeing it. Really, it's really only like 15 to 16 years old where there was 2-man wedding groups. Multi-op DJ companies would have 7 DJs, so they thought they could book 7 gigs.
Right.
And then somewhere around the mid 2000s, they were like, "No, I got 7 DJs. I'm gonna book 3 gigs because I want 2 people at each gig because they worried about somebody dying at the gig, right? You know, so
Never know,
right? You never know. So this is where both had to learn MC skills, all right. And it's funny you mentioned it because I know a lot of club DJs who don't like to MC.
Don't like to talk at all.
They don't like to talk
at all. They let the music do the talking, for sure.
And as you know, because you've done both. You can't MC at a club like you can, or you can't MC at a wedding like you can at a club.
Not at all. I mean, it all depends on the crowd.
Yeah, it all depends
on the crowd. But you definitely cannot be.
We can't be Fat Man Scoop.
Yeah, you can't be all aggressive and vulgar and all that stuff. There's definitely a tone, you know, and a barrier that you kind of can't, you know, just cross.
It's an etiquette. It's a wedding etiquette. So, but we have records that do it for us. Like I can do Fat Man Scoop.
Correct.
You know what I mean? I can do something like that.
Fat Man Scoop edit, yep.
Yeah, I can do a Fat Man, because I'll let them do the club type yelling and screaming, and I can remain professional. But that's the thing, is like, I learned from a guy in Syracuse how to be the ultimate wedding MC. Using the proper language, the words, the mannerism, you know, things to because you don't want to embarrass the bride or their parents and their guests,
or your future clients, possibly.
Or your future clients, because if somebody's like, "Hey, you got any videos of you emceeing at a wedding?" You be like, "Put your hands up,
left, right, shake that girl, yeah."
Right. That's not something they want to see. So there is a difference in that, and that's a good point that you brought up.
So now my next question: you ever had your craziest like wedding scare? You know, like. I know one time I was at a wedding and, you know, like the bride's down the aisle song didn't work, like something like that. You had any wedding scares before?
I've been professionally doing weddings since 2000.
Wow.
And I started on vinyl, and then I went to the Newmark CD. What do they call CDJs?
CDJs, yep.
I went to the Newmark CDJs. And I could literally write a book on all the things that have gone wrong in weddings. Not like it happens a lot, but guess what? Those are the things you never forget, right? You'd be like, whoops. And you rearrange your whole operation based on one mistake.
Yep.
I remember right in the middle of the bride's dance. Remember Napster?
Yeah.
So remember DJs used to get cheap and burn CDs. So,
Yeah.
And the wedding song just cut off.
Oh my goodness.
In the middle, I burned it, but at the time I didn't check to make sure it was the whole song.
Make sure it was.
And remember, Napster used to have half songs.
It's like LimeWire, like
LimeWire is the same thing.
And stuff.
Yeah, it would be half songs or cut up songs or butcher songs or an F-bomb would go off right in the middle of the song. That's right. So I've had things like that happen, like right in the middle of the song, and I was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Let me restart that."
And then it cuts off again. Oh man! So what do you do in a situation like that? How do you improvise?
You start to sweat. One was in the middle of a father-daughter dance, and she just went.
Oh my
she said,
goodness!
Forget it. She looked at the DJ booth and just said, "Just forget it."
Just next formality.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So little things like that, processional songs, style. You know. Oh, on a CDJ. Remember the CDJs had the big thing with skipping.
Yeah, so I remember Nate the Great talked about that in episode 1. He had a gig and
I was laughing when he said that.
Yeah,
like because the floors would bounce, or if you had a subwoofer.
Yep, the sub too would vibrate. Yeah,
so your CDJ was like.
You gotta be like, don't make eye contact with the crowd. Don't.
So you would mix it out. I got so paranoid. I wouldn't remember CDJs were 2 CDs.
Yeah,
I would be so paranoid. I'd have 2 of them, so I had 4.
4 of them? Oh,
because I was nervous. Yeah, because
that's like DJs now, even for weddings. Like DJs use 2 laptops, just just in case.
Today I take 2 laptops everywhere.
I respect it.
2 laptops.
I respect it. How about the importance of contracts as well? Because a club guy will call you up. Hey, yo, I need you here. Then gigs done. You searching for them, can't find your money and whatever. Now they're on vacation, whatever it is. Versus a wedding, you're doing contracts in advance. You're getting deposits, all that stuff. So just talk about the importance of that.
So I started out in bars and clubs. I told you I've only been doing wedding since like the early 2000s. But prior to that, I used to do bars and clubs. I was in Virginia, in Norfolk, Virginia Beach, and I used to do bars, clubs. I did the Navy because that's a big military town. I did the Navy base clubs and stuff like that. And there's been times I didn't get paid.
Oh wow!
So when I became a wedding DJ, and my mentor was like, my mentor was like, you don't even go to the event without a contract. Don't you show up. I learned the importance of a contract, and I learned the importance of getting paid prior to.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, because there was, I learned in bars that was like, oh well, we're going to pay you after the event because you're going to get the bar tab or whatever the case may be.
Yep.
And they'd be like, I've had bar people go, yo, I know I told you 300.
We didn't make enough.
So I'm going to hit you off with 150.
No, you can't even do nothing in that sense.
Nah, what are you going to do?
Yeah,
you'd be like, come on, man. And they'd be like, I'll see you tomorrow. You'd be like, will you? And I guess I am. Yeah, you do good tomorrow. I'm going to take care of you from last night. And he's giving me the same boat. So contracts are very important.
You also work for a wedding company as well.
Yep.
So what are some pros and cons of working for a wedding company?
Well, let's start with the fact that I used to have my own. I worked for wedding companies, and I've had my own. I noticed the differences. Wedding companies are a lot of work.
Yep.
Especially when you're responsible for your clients, but you're depending on other people to do the services
to get the job done.
Right. So that's really can be stressful. People contacting you for something that you had no control over. So it's important that your DJs are very extremely trained. It's important that your DJs understand the standards of the company and what your expectations are. So those are things. So I had my own company at one time, and shout out Discovery DJs of New York. That was the name of my company. And then I was Chris Wright Entertainment at one point, and now I'm with Upbeat Occasions. And I was with Cool Cat for a while, which is one of the biggest companies in the area.
Oh, wow.
At one point, they've moved to Florida. I don't even know if they're local anymore.
Yeah.
But my point was, I've had different phases. I jumped in and out because I couldn't do my day job and run a company at the same time. Some people do it.
2 companies, right?
Yeah, some people do it, but both of those would have been self-employed entities. And I just that shit was too much. So I prefer to work, for someone else. The pay is less because you're not paying yourself. Yeah. But I DJ because I enjoy it.
Right.
I mean, so pay is not always a factor. I try to make sure I get what I deserve. But at the same time, I know I can make more if I was on my own, but I just don't have the wherewithal, the time.
It's a lot more wear and tear.
It's a lot, you know what I mean? A lot of wear and tear on my family, myself, things like that, to try and just run a company.
Yeah, and then you also, now the gigs are, you kind of don't even have to go searching for the gigs. The gigs are kind of put on the table. And,
right.
So I definitely hear that as well. So now let's talk about, you talked about the family. Let's talk about the work-life balance, because a lot of people have to balance being an entrepreneur, being a DJ, being a business owner, along with having, a family and making sure that, in-house everything is, copacetic.
Right.
So I know you're also you're basically like Clark Kent in a sense, because you're like realtor at day and you're, DJ in evening or night. So how is that work-life balance and, juggling everything?
Man, I've tried to quit DJing. In my mind. Never actually did 5-6 times, because it is a hereditary family, because you miss weekends. Basically, wedding season used to be from like June to September.
Yep.
Slowly, but over the decades, it's moved from there's some DJs with no weddings in June anymore.
Yeah. They've
gone from July to October. Now they've moved into a little bit in November. So now wedding season literally runs from July to November. And there's really not much going on between May and June. So pretty much during the summer, and you've done this, you could do Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yep.
You could do Saturday, Sunday. And if you were a wedding DJ and a club jock,
oh man,
you kiss your family goodbye on Friday and say, I'll see you on Monday.
Yeah, for
right?
Sure. Yeah, for sure.
But so the work-life balance is, like you said, I do real estate, and I do DJing. So some weeks are just blend right into the next. I try and take Sundays off, and I even try make sure that no Sunday weddings. Yeah. No Sunday weddings. Unless you're really in a bind and you need to do a Sunday wedding, I'll do it. Right. Brides are doing Thursday weddings now.
Thursday weddings is crazy.
I'm like, no, not doing it. No, they're doing Thursday weddings. I've seen people doing, Wednesday weddings. I'm like, what is going on? So I think a lot of it had to do with the pandemic too. Yep. Because people were trying to catch up.
Yeah.
They had to cancel
get any dates they can. Yeah.
Yeah. And then you got these venues out there who lost all that money during the pandemic. So they're just taking anything. Yeah. Oh, we can do Wednesday night.
Monday? Sure.
Yeah. So people are taking advantage. Someone called me the other day actually. Hey, can you do our wedding? They said it's going to be on a Tuesday. I said no.
A Tuesday?
A Tuesday. Well, we got a better rate at the venue because it was a Tuesday.
Of course you did. Of course you did.
I'm not DJing a Tuesday wedding. That's not going to happen. So, no. So work-life balance is your spouse, significant other, they know that from July, that was my original point, from July to October, you're not going to be around on weekends a lot.
Right.
I used to not like double bookings like Friday and Saturday or, I definitely don't like Sundays for some reason. It's like a rest day for me.
Yeah.
But I don't mind doing a Friday and Saturday every now and then. But if you got a DJ wife, she get it.
She gets it.
When I met my wife, I was already DJing.
Oh, okay.
It's not like it was a hobby. I started like, hey, babe, I'm going to be a DJ. She'd be like, yeah. You tell your girl that, and y'all been together 7-8 years, she'd be like, what?
Yeah.
I want to be a DJ.
Since when?
Right. But if you were already a DJ when y'all met, then she's like, well, this is what he does. He's been doing this since I've known him. Mm-hmm. So it is what it is. So she already knew that come summer, I ain't around.
Yeah. So I also know that you have is it 2 daughters?
3. We have 3.
3 daughters. Congrats. And so I always see you going out to is it Cortland?
Yeah, because my daughter is a softball player.
Yeah,
the oldest one. She's a softball player at SUNY Cortland. Mm-hmm. And so I take those days off. So I'm like work-life balance.
Right.
I got to tell the DJ company. I was like, listen, I blacked out this month because that's all softball. Yeah. And then she does travel softball, so same thing. Work-life balance. You got to really plan around it because you don't want to piss the happy wife, happy life, happy life.
That's what they say. That's what they say,
happy
right?
Wife, happy life. So you can't be like surprising her with like. And I've surprised her. So I'm like, I got a gig tomorrow, right? Yeah. That's my bad because I forgot to tell her. But we have a family calendar, and I put all my events in the family calendar, so she can look when someone asks, "Hey, you and Chris can do this next Saturday." She like, no, he got a gig.
He's got a gig.
Yeah, so
that's cool.
So she already knows. So I keep everything on the family calendar, and she don't even have to ask me first. But then there's days I surprised her, like, oh, oops, forgot to put it on the calendar.
Did I tell you that
I got a gig on Saturday? Oh my God, I made plans. I'm like, I'm sorry, I forgot.
So I know while we're still on the work life, I know you have some side hobbies. You like to do some DIY. No, was it the tiki bars?
Yeah, the tiki bar. It's all home stuff. We bought a house 2 years ago, and I was just like, hey, you know what? As opposed to because we were renting before that, as opposed to just trying to fix up somebody else's spot and just leaving, and fix up our own. So I knew some things we wanted, so I bought. I like watching a lot of YouTube videos. We talked about that. I'm like, ooh, that guy built his own deck. I'm gonna try that.
You did, and you did.
And I did. I built a floating deck for a dining area outside. Then I saw a tiki bar on YouTube. I was like, I'm gonna try that. So I just did it. So man, you can learn so much on YouTube.
So much.
But it's all part of work-life balance.
On that note, subscribe to the channel, like, comment. All right.
Yeah, please like, comment because this is fire. If you want to know about the life of a DJ. He's doing it big here.
Off the record, man.
Off the record, keep doing that.
In regards of real estate and like DJing, do they go hand in hand? Anyhow? How? Let the people know.
Because I'm DJing couples' weddings. Couples usually when they get married, they're renting.
True.
Then they come to me and say, buy a house, right? They come to me and be like, hey Chris, you were a DJ, but we know you're a realtor. We'd like you to help us buy our house. So many of my brides and grooms, I've helped them find houses.
Wow, that's amazing.
And guess what? They tell their mom. Mom wants to sell her house and buy a house.
Whole family.
Everybody who was at the wedding. Wasn't your DJ a real estate agent? Mm-hmm. And next thing I'm getting calls from family members and there's been times, man. It just like it was snowballed where I was doing whole families. Yeah. Grandmoms.
Yeah, bring the whole squad,
uncles.
man.
Yeah, so
you get a house.
They do.
You get a house.
They tie right into each other, and I haven't been able to parlay the both gigs into that. And people, and you know what? I'm not the only. I'm not gonna shout at this thing because I don't want to give him any credit. But there's other DJs out there who are also real estate agents for the same reason. Because they know that's not the reason, but they realize, oh, I could parlay this DJ thing into real estate, and they've done that.
That's smart. That's smart. So I know you also you lost some weight, man. You doing is it Peloton or Peloton? Peloton. I know y'all. It's like a little cult. Feel me? Y'all be going in.
And I'm gonna tell you that's directly related. See, everything ties back to DJing with me because I've been DJing for so long, bro. I got to the point, man. I was so out of shape carrying equipment. You know how you feel at the end of a wedding?
Yeah, exhausted.
Muscles hurt, bones hurt. You just want to sleep in on Sunday morning.
Yeah.
I was out of shape. You look like you in shape, right?
A little something. Yeah.
But I was so out of shape, carrying an equipment, walking upstairs. I was like a wreck. I was like, I got to get in shape. Went to the doctor. The doctor was like, yo, you're pre-diabetic.
Oh, wow.
It's like, you need to lose some weight. When somebody tells you you're going to die and you got young kids, you be like,
check yourself real quick.
Because we know that diabetes and cancer, both of them are,
detrimental
to your long life. And who wants to be poking themselves every day?
Right.
Shout out to y'all people out there that do. Bless you.
Facts. Super blessings.
But I was like, what do I got to do? She was like, well, I'm gonna put you on this medication, and I'm gonna give you this, blood thing. I don't even know what the terminology is because I didn't want to buy into.
Right.
I had to do that. That's the thing about when someone tells you something that you don't want to accept. You cannot accept it and try another route.
You'll find any other alternative. Right?
So I was like, doing the whole diabetes lifestyle. I was like, nah. And I said, what's the other alternative? She's like, lose weight and start eating right. Stay off the greasy foods, high cholesterol, fatty foods, all that stuff. And she's like, you're predisposed to diabetic being an African-American male. The whole nine. I was like, bet.
How many pounds you down?
Like 55. But, bro, guess what? I was ready to quit DJing because I was, after the gigs, I was pounded.
So fatigued, yeah.
Not hurt. It hurt. I would be done for the week, like physically. So it wasn't like a 1 day recovery.
Yeah.
It was like I was done for days. Like my wife was like, "Why do you do that?" And then if I would tell her I got a Friday and a Saturday this week, she's like, "Chris,
why are you doing this to yourself?"
Yeah, that's gonna take like 2 weeks to recover.
2 weeks.
Right? So, bro, once I start getting in shape, I was not a runner. I was not a weightlifter. I was not I would not be out building a tiki bar.
Right.
But because I wanted to DJ and I love DJing and I thought that was something that I would have to give up, I had to get in shape. And now, give me 4 gigs in a row, man, I'm good. I still think I'm crazy. I'm good now, honey.
So
I'm good.
So I know you also so how does it work? You work out to I see you post you work out to an EDM 45 minute.
So
how does that work?
So the way Peloton work is they discovered that popular music with working out is what's good. So I used to do live spinning. Remember my gym? She said live spinning.
Yeah.
Shout out to my friend Angela, who's a spin instructor in Saratoga. She had a spin center, a place, and I went there, and she had even asked me to DJ it a couple of times.
Oh wow!
So I used to DJ the spin, and the hyper the music was, the harder people went in.
Go, yeah.
And Peloton looked at that and was like, they got something here in these spins, these places, and they just took the whole idea and put it on video, and they can do it live, do it recorded, and they figured out people love working out the popular music.
Wow!
And it's a PA, parental advisory. They don't cut words out.
What's the longest you've ever rode a Peloton?
I've done 90-minute rides.
90-minute.
Wow. 90-minute rides.
Wow.
They have different ones: up tempo, down tempo, low impact, high impact. What they call high interval, low interval type rides. But here's what I was going to tell you. Once you start working out, you start getting in shape. You start doing other things. Like I bought a heavy bag, so I box
them a little bit. Yeah.
I bought a elliptical machine, so I do that. Then I bought a treadmill. That was the worst thing because I was like, I'm never going to use this. People got treadmills; they become clothes racks.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, for sure.
When you start working out, man, you want to start doing other things. Otherwise, you just only affecting certain muscles in your body.
Correct. Yeah.
You start to plateau in your weight loss. So treadmill, I'm even running now a few miles, multiple miles at a time, and so I may not look like Adonis, you know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying, I feel like it, Adonis. You know what I mean? I feel like I can lift the world.
Yeah.
Because I'm in shape like that. I'm not strong. I don't lift a lot of weights, but all I wanted to be able to do was be fit, walk around my daughter in a park for a while without feeling fatigued and beat up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, short of breath and stuff. Yeah.
Short of breath. I mean, my wife and I used to go places with the kids, and I was like, honey, I gotta sit down. That's embarrassing. Mm-hmm. Y'all go ahead. I'll take a break.
Yeah, that is. Give me the asthma pump.
Right? Or my back just hurt so bad. Now, man, I could go on for I run with the dog now, man. Yeah. So that's good. But I gotta make sure I don't fall off. It is so easy to take a day off and one becomes two, two becomes a week.
Yep.
And you just stop. So no, but shout out to DJing because I didn't want to quit DJing, but I just felt like crap, so I had to get in shape.
So now my next question: do you have a favorite genre? I know you said you like EDM, you like house music. So are you I know you said you found music, in DJing through hip hop. But do you love like house and EDM more or?
Yeah, EDM is my favorite genre of music right now. I could stay on like serious, BPM for all day if I want, but everybody doesn't like EDM. I mean, I've gone to festivals, Ultra. I've gone to EDC.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah, I just love that genre of music. It's young and old. It's happy. Mm-hmm. You know DJ Tony Mancuso?
No.
Shout out DJ Tony. He loves EDM too, and I just remember he brought up the fact to me one time. He's like, it's happy.
Yeah.
People don't fight.
Higher frequency.
People aren't angry. You don't see people just having a good time. And that's what I like about EDM is because it happens. But the reason I smiled when you asked that question, because I have some very close favorites. I love Afro beats now.
Afro beats, yeah.
I love Afro beats now.
So I'm like on the fence with Afro beats for the fact that
it'll never take over EDM for me.
It's the same cadence slightly, but it's very similar to EDM where it's the boom, 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 boom. Mm-hmm. It has the same drum and bass.
I know.
But there's certain sounds like Last by Burna Boy. I have been obsessed with that song.
I've been obsessed with Burna Boy.
Oh man,
I've been obsessed with Burna Boy, and I just I love Afrobeats and I love UK rap now.
Yeah,
probably because it's different. As a DJ, we listen to so much music that everybody else wants to hear that you just like to just go off into your own space and like.
Correct.
Let me listen to it. But I love reggaeton.
Reggaeton, yeah.
I dig reggaeton. Bad Bunny, Can Do No Wrong, Daddy Yankee.
Oh man, yeah.
Those guys.
Everybody's
and then all those underground guys that y'all don't know about. But I've made reggaeton playlists that I just love.
So do you have a favorite crate name that you like? You love to play, and you're like, I know this is gonna make people go crazy.
Not yet, but I need to do that because I need a mixture of all that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You didn't ask me who my favorite rapper is. You didn't ask me who I think the GOAT is. You're gonna be surprised.
Ooh, let's get into it. So who do you think the GOAT is?
Who's your GOAT?
I mean, he hits the interviewer.
I know, right?
With the interview question.
I like to know because you're never gonna guess my GOAT.
I'm gonna say Drake.
What?
I'm gonna say Drake. That's my opinion.
We're gonna get hate for this.
Of course, let's do it. You know what I mean?
Drake is the GOAT.
Oh, let's go.
And what's so funny? I'm an old head.
Yeah.
You're a younger cat. Mm-hmm. I've heard a lot of people your age say Drake is the GOAT.
Man.
But let me tell you something. I know there's a lot of Jay-Z fans out there.
I almost said Jay-Z.
I know there's a lot. I know there's people who want to keep it authentic and go big in Tupac. Mm-hmm. There's your Nas fans out there. And to me, and then of course, Kanye West, we got to mention him, even though he's vibing into some troubles right now. Yeah. But we got to mention him because in that music genre,
when it comes to music, respectfully,
it would be a crisis. It would be a sin to leave him out.
Right.
Right. And I, being an old head, this is how I realized he was the GOAT. I can listen to him for hours. There's no other artist I can listen to for hours. And as much as I love Jay, after about 8 to 10 tracks, I'm like, okay, let me move on to something else. I could put on Drake Essentials.
So many different sounds and cadences. I've made a 3-hour Drake mix before. That's how real it is.
And you know what? I had to look in the mirror and go, really, bro?
Yeah.
Is this your GOAT?
Nah, is this your king?
Is this your right?
No, seriously though. But he deserves that.
But people gonna give us some.
I mean, of course y'all are, but realistically, check the stats. Come on, like let's 10 years later. Come on, like come on.
It's like having an ugly girl and people are like, "That's your girl." You be like, yeah, that's my girl. That's her girl. You don't want to introduce her.
Yeah,
that's how I feel about Drake because I know I'm around so many old heads who be like, "Yo, what about Busta? What about?" I be like, "They all good."
Nah.
I said they are great.
Yeah,
but he's the greatest.
Yeah, greatest.
You know what I'm saying?
Great is
like he.
No,
like
I 100%
they,
agree.
I wanted to put that out there. I was like, I can't leave the show without telling him who my goat was. Because I said, he'll never guess my goat. Because I know you would pay me like, you like Jay, don't you? I love Jay.
I'm from Brooklyn, so of course I love Jay.
I love Jay.
But like even the God did verse, I was like, all right, bro. All right. I get it. But I'm like, all right, Jay.
I got a playlist called Drake Sings.
Yeah.
And it's only him singing.
Listen, you can do that though.
It's so much.
Easily.
I don't know how many tracks on there, but I know it's like 75, 80 tracks.
He's
nothing but singing.
So versatile.
So y'all Drake haters out there?
Yeah, I think Drake the GOAT. Comment real quick.
If you think Drake's the GOAT, comment.
So now, on that note, music today.
By the way, Kanye said Drake's the GOAT too.
Yeah, because he knows. He knows the deleted Drink Champs. Yeah.
Okay.
Did you see the deleted one?
No.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, the deleted one. I saw the original.
Oh,
I saw it 2 days before it got pulled.
Yeah, that was real quick.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother topic of discussion. Mm-hmm. But modern day music, like how do you feel about like the drill music, like hip hop's where it's at, like the little babies?
Modern day music. Rest in peace to Takeoff.
I was gonna say that.
I thought Migos was the kings of modern day. Migos was just, and I'm sad they broke up.
Yep.
I'm sad that Offset didn't get a chance to squash beef with Takeoff before he died.
Yeah.
But Quavo's still my man, and everybody that's associated with them, DJ Mustard and all those cats. Mm-hmm. I'm not crazy about all the auto-tune people.
Yeah.
The babies, the baby,
Lil TJ,
the baby,
Lil baby, the baby, his baby, her baby, my baby.
I mean, they got a few tracks that I like, and because somebody was talking about the baby the other day, and I was just like, yeah. But I don't know who's better, Lil Baby or the baby.
It's subjective. Me, I would say business wise, mm-hmm. Lil Baby, but musically, I would go with the baby. But I mean, like I know, it's hilarious. It's hilarious.
We sound crazy.
It's hilarious.
There's some other newer artists out there who I kind of like, but none of them I'm listening to for an hour
at all.
That's how I judge. We said the GOAT. I was like, I can listen to them for an hour.
None of them,
bro. I mow my lawn and I got a big yard. I mow my lawn. I put my headset on mm-hmm. and just mow.
Yeah,
all Drake,
easily. Old, new, in the middle. Bruh.
Dude got bars,
so do you like older Drake or newer Drake?
I like it all.
Fair enough.
I like it all.
But if you had to,
but here's what's funny.
Uh-huh.
I've been listening to so many Drake singles lately, like just from like hitting playlists on Apple Music or something, that I would hear stuff from early albums. I'd be like, that new.
Yo.
And I realized it wasn't.
You ever heard Karaoke?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
What was that song? What's that album? If you're hearing this shit too late, or if you just what was it?
Yeah. If you're hearing this, if you're reading this, it's too late.
Is it that album?
Yeah. Legend.
I'm just discovering tracks from that.
Yo,
and I'm like,
man,
it's sick. But anyway, go on. Get back to the questions.
It's out of control.
Because whenever I start talking about genres, I'll be all day.
So, So basically, that's a lot. Because I know you were panicking. All right. So now, basically, while we're even just talking about Drake and all that, do you have a soundtrack that you would consider like the soundtrack to your life? If you had to give me like three
what?
Soundtracks that you would consider like songs that you would say this is the soundtrack.
Genres or artists?
Whatever you want. I'm not even gonna put it in a box.
Funk. I grew up on funk, and when I mean funk, I'm talking Parliament Funkadelic.
Ooh, okay.
I'm talking all the music of that early '80s before hip hop. All the music that hip hop sampled.
So is there one song that stands out when you even think of the funk genre?
All the George Clinton stuff that Ice Cube stole, that Dr. Dre stole. Remember they used to do a lot of funk back like samples.
Yeah.
All that stuff was like
West Coast, yeah.
Flashlight, Not Just Knee Deep. One Nation Under a Groove, all those tracks.
So if you had to listen to one song for the rest of your life,
Funkin' for Jamaica.
If you had to listen to one song for the rest of your life, you taking a funk song or you taking a Drake song?
Oof, bruh. Bruh. Here's the thing, man. As you get older, you grow. Mm-hmm. You have different phases of your life, right? Yeah. And one thing that Drake does today, he's very intelligent about errors.
Yeah. Very aware.
Very aware about errors of music. And one thing that he does is he'll pay homage to somebody, and people go, "Oh, he bit that." I'm like, he didn't bite someone's lyric.
He knew what he was doing.
He said those bars, paying respect to someone 20 years ago, and you too stupid to notice. Be like, "Yo, Drake bit this. I'm gonna play this song and listen to how he said this." I'm like, you don't get it?
Yeah.
It's in front of your ears and you still don't get it. I'm saying that to say that I've grown over my life, so I need like 10 songs. I got you know the movie Superfly?
Yeah.
There's tracks from the Superfly soundtrack by Curtis Mayfield that would like define something.
Yeah.
I could play some Luther Vandross during another era.
Good old Luther.
I gotta play some Babyface during another era.
You're going crazy.
I gotta play EPMD during another era. Kind of see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Nah,
so my soundtrack would be mixed through the decades.
Okay. So, how do you feel about, just where music's at right now in general?
It's in a bad place.
I was gonna say that. Do you feel like, for example, like will the violence will that ever simmer down? Will music get back into its like that feel good pocket or that feel good era?
Nope.
Even with
why? Because we, and I say we as a hip hop fan, we didn't accept people like Lupe Fiasco. And Lupe Fiasco was that he was an extension of A Tribe Called Quest.
Yeah.
He was an extension of De La Soul.
Yeah.
Kind of see what I'm saying?
Yep.
The Daisy music of Queen Latifah and all that. But we wouldn't let him go pop. Kind of see what I'm saying?
Do you think that's more so? Do you think that's the culture or the media? Because I feel like there's two different things.
I think it's the culture. I think everybody's in a get money phase.
Yeah.
I hear rappers come out. I love 21 Savage.
Yeah, 21.
21. But he has a great voice.
Mm-hmm.
He has a great flow. And I think he can literally rap about anything.
Anything.
And it'd be good.
Mm-hmm. They said him and Drake is actually, we were just, this whole bottom conversation is going to be about Drake, guys. Yeah. But they said him and Drake are supposed to be dropping like a joint album.
And they should.
They 100%.
Because Jimmy Cook was fire.
Fire.
Right?
Fire.
I'm sorry. I'm having a brain fog. The guy that died. It was
Takeoff?
No, the
PNB?
Prior.
Pop Smoke.
Pop Smoke!
Rest in peace, Pop Smoke.
Rest in peace, Pop Smoke. Another one that could probably...
We're definitely going to turn that into a soundbite.
Another one that could probably have rapped about anything.
Mm-hmm.
His stuff didn't have to be violent.
Mm-mm. Yeah, he had the "What You Know About Love." Right? Oh my goodness, bro.
So music doesn't have to be violent. Music doesn't have to use the N-word. Music doesn't have to be about drugs and misogyny and all that.
Mm-hmm.
There's artists out there that could do without it, but we have to make them pop.
Yeah.
That's why I was glad Drake did. Honestly, never mind. Like it or not.
Never mind. Yeah, that was. I knew you were gonna like that. I knew that was fire.
Massive.
That was fire. So now my last question that I ask people, man, in all of my interviews. So a lot of people discredit the importance and the impact music has on just individuals. So why for Chris Wright, man, is it more than just music?
It's more than just music, man, because any mood I'm in, any vibe I'm in, music can change it. I could be down, music make me happy. You know what I mean? I could be in a thinking mood, what am I listening to? I could throw on some Marley.
Yeah.
I could throw on some Buju Banton.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I could throw on LL Cool J. It depends on where I want to be. Music can take you anywhere you want to go.
Anywhere. Yep. You can go to throw some Afro beats on.
I can go to UK. I can go I want to be in the Caribbean. I can just play some Caribbean chants and Caribbean vibes. If I want to get jazzy, I get jazzy. So that's why music is more than just music. Music is a way of life for me, man.
Yeah.
Love music.
I respect it, man. Listen, thank you for coming, man.
This was great, man.
I appreciate the gems, man, that you dropped on us.
Absolutely.
Keep doing your thing, man. It's your boy DJ Hollywood, man. Off the Record, But you know, we on the record, but it's off the record. So got some more upcoming DJs tapping in with y'all, man. Make sure y'all check out the past episodes as well. And yeah, man, follow me on Instagram, DJ HOLLYW8D. We out of here. Bow.
Did we make it? Just made it?
You had like a minute left.
Was that a good interview?
Nah, it was great.